It doesn't count yet. I know we're live, but this doesn't count.
No.
No.
What kind of things are we going to talk about? You know.
You.
Really?
Okay. It's going to be centered around you. You know
okay.
what I mean? So.
All right. We'll see how this goes. Do you guys want to give me a link or anything for me to share, or should I just share the final video once we're done?
Hold on 1 second. Okay, so we're live. What's going on? Hello, everybody. Welcome again. This is Wardens Midwest. I'm one half of the Wardens. Terry Tertiary can't be with us still. Shout out to him in Ohio. We're coming straight from Stockyard Coffee House, you know, our little permanent little niche in the south side of Chicago. Why don't you say hi to everybody?
What's up, guys? The coffee's delicious here at Stockyard. I'm not going to lie. But my name is Misha. I'm the owner, CEO, founder of Evol Chicago. So yeah, I'm more than pleased to be here with the Wardens Midwest. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, so I have been sneaking around looking at his work for quite some time. I actually owned a couple of pins from an event that the Wardens put together in Wicker Park. It was the original Eat Fest. And, you know, a lot of people came together, a lot of great performers. But we also had you guys vending over there. And I had to grab me a real sick piece that we talked about. Got to get back in production for the summer. But a big fan of your art. And for those who don't know, it's Evol. Love flip backwards. Any way you put love, it's love. So big fan. You really I feel like you carry a Chicago theme in most, if not, well, most of your art.
Most. Yeah. The Chicago color palette, I think, is one of our favorites. You know, it's that white, the red, the blue, the baby blue that it carries. You know, it's an amazing color palette.
It's a Chicago baby blue.
It is a Chicago baby blue.
It's a very unique hue.
Yeah. You know, I mean, when we were doing this, when I was printing our first We Love House Music flags, man, the amount of Pantone colors that I used to go through to make sure to match up the reds, make sure to match up the blues, you know, you had to get that perfect.
Now, is that where you started with the We Love House Music? Because I seen that a big theme when I was looking at the spreads originally at the fest.
Yeah, so the hat that I'm wearing, it says "We Love House Music" in each star. Obviously, if you're not familiar with it, but the birthplace of house music is here in Chicago. When I first started, my mission was to commemorate house music to Chicago. That's what I really wanted to do with the brand Evol. Love spelled backwards, as we said earlier, but what I always thought about is like Evol is the evolution of love. And, you know, the beginning of love, the evolution of it here in the city, I feel like is when house music was starting to come around. A lot of the South Side a lot of different communities coming together over this type of music, and I think it was very, very powerful movement for Chicago for sure.
Well, it's a Chicago scene that people don't realize that comes from Chicago, especially with a lot of vocal house. See, as a DJ myself,
I love vocal house.
I grew up in a what I didn't know was a really good hip hop environment. What I mean by that, I grew up around a lot of people that did graffiti that were great. Shout out to people like Q Rock. We got a lot of people out there personally that I, learned a lot of things from, the elements. But I like the wordplay. Like my people always think it's impact with a T. It's IMPAC.
I like that.
It's short for I am packing.
I'm
So yeah, people always get a little giggle out of it, but I had that tagger mentality, so it was a spray can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you want to take it however you want to take it,
yeah,
it's definitely a cocky name. But yeah, definitely I like the wordplay on the words. I feel like it has that hip hop feel to it.
Yeah.
But what I mean by hip hop is the elements, which is something that was missing. And like you said, house music is a big thing from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That really was a Chicago. How do I call this? A nest. You know what I mean? In Chicago, it was a nest for all this house music, especially vocal house music, where you got really soulful, such things like Deja. I can go on and on about house music.
Yeah.
I used to DJ house music. Still one of my favorite go-tos. It's definitely a different feel for a party. But it was a good feel. I don't care if you're a thug. I don't care if you're in Chicago. Mm-hmm. You understood house music is that thing where girls are booty bouncing. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was all around the city. I'm not talking about just in a scene, in a certain race, anything else. House music really, it was hip hop. It extended to everything. Like when people mention hip hop, you got to realize a lot of hip hop is all these things put together. Whether it's DJing, MCing, graffiti, and these b-boys, breakdancers. And man, come on, look at all the breakdance videos, man. Those were all Latinos getting down. That's what I mean? Some of the rawest ones. You know what I mean? But it wasn't the thing of these are Latinos. Everybody came together over this. And in Chicago, it was definitely more house music than it was in New York. It didn't have that scene. So there's a lot of house heads still out there in Chicago. There's a lot of DJs' favorites still. And then everybody's music, EDM. You guys are robbing house music, Chicago house music. You guys have been robbing it and been so damn lazy about it. You guys are fucking DJs. I'm sorry. But a lot of you guys out here doing this EDM are just DJs using old house music. I don't care how much bass you put on it. I don't care how many boom drops. That is Chicago house music, and it's lazy. Yeah. But you gotta respect everybody's hustle. You can monetize that shit. Go for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the backbone. It had to start somewhere. And Frankie Knuckles and the squad, they did a phenomenal job building a really good, pelvis for it. Place for it to build up.
My favorite was Ghetto House.
Oh, the G Houses are fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, whether DJ Funk was the hardest.
Funk, yeah.
DJ Funk was definitely the well, that's what I thought. His bass lines were the hardest. My most heartbreaking loss in vinyl to this day because I can't find it. I was supposed to get my hands on it. Actually, shout out to Neil over at Les Boogie. Hope he's doing well. He's had some medical issues, but this guy's been there since the late 60s. Record, one of the oldest record stores.
I'm sure he carried a lot
but he got a buddy who was supposed to bring the record in. Anyways, it's DJ Funk, and it's got the Art of Funkin' in it. Yeah, it's got Every Freaking Night and Every Freaking Day, which is a freaking classic. You know what that is. But the Art of Funkin' was one that people didn't really hear. It's the Art of Noise with DJ Funk bass lines. Yeah. So it was the Art of Noise. God damn, that was the hardest juke track I had. The hardest.
They did well on those, that's for sure. Very well done.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, since we have the history of house, now, that's kind of what we use for the backbone. But one thing that we realized was a really good language between everyone is art, and people thought that we were going to be a one design company, and we ended up branching out and evolving. That's all it really was, Shout out to our head artist, Erica Lissette. J-Dubs is another amazing artist. Roy Izzle is one of our head artists as well. You know, that's our squad from Chicago. Everybody's been putting in work, you know.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit collaborative, but I feel like it's really intricate pins. And it's not just pins, it's patches, designs. Yeah. But like the pins, like how you capture so much detail in a pin, it's gotta be expensive, no?
I mean, yeah, dude, they ain't cheap, that's for sure. Especially, you know, after a little. Here, let me show you one of these pins. This is one of these dope. This is the Bleeding Heart of Chicago. It glows in the dark. It's got 4 posts on it. You could see how big this thing is too, you know. So these are really, really dope pieces.
So if you can't tell, that's the L right there, all the lines. We got the skyline there.
Yeah. Got some cool chains inside of there.
Yep.
You know, so this is one of our top selling pieces. Still have them available on the website if you guys do want one.
Man, look them up. Those pins are raw, and I'm still waiting on my Chakra Panda.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it out. It's I'm a fan of those designs. They're
intricate. That was done by J-Dubs. You know, that was one of the best designs we've ever released. You know, another top one that we did that is still, it's called the Mystic Wolf. This was a 3-artist collaboration. It was one of the first ones that we ever did that we released, and everyone was just breath. You know,
and in case you ain't noticed the detail, that's 2 Chainz. That's fucking 2 Chainz right there. You know what I mean? Dripping.
Check this.
That's drip. That's drip.
Look at that thing. That's with the Chicago flag. This is Let Your Voice Be Heard. You know, it's the Mystic Wolf. Comes with cool locking pin bags.
You know what, man? You should feed that idea and the artist to what is our Wolves? We got a minor league team.
Yeah,
they were big. Chicago. Let me look this up real quick.
This thing is dope.
Yeah, Chicago's got a minor league that was really big because back when the Blackhawks was doing horrible, people were watching these games.
Oh, you're talking about the Wolves?
Yeah,
the Chicago Wolves, the hockey team.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I used to get free tickets to them all the time as a kid.
Man, feed them that idea or show them that logo. So this is their logo, all right? The Chicago Wolves. And this says Chicago Wolves way harder.
Yeah.
Way harder. Look at this. That should be on a damn hockey shirt, which we make and are rocking right now, right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, these are one of the pieces that we did. This is called the Equalizer Heartbeat piece. You know, we figured, what is the heart and bass line of a song and how does it make you feel? Well, it's the equalizer, and then the heartbeat keeps you going, you know? So we decided to put that into a jersey. We got 606 on the back, which is really dope. And
not 666.
Nope, 606.
Because today is March 6th, 3/6, but it's also Ash Wednesday.
It is Ash Wednesday.
Very ironic.
Very. So
I just want to get that off my chest. I didn't see that on the internet or nothing. I was just thinking.
No, that's true.
666, like on Ash Wednesday, there's something going on. Anyway.
6, whatever. Move on to the next thing. Yeah, but we did a really cool collection called the 606 collection. And that was really dope because we wanted to encapsulate everything. I don't know if you're familiar, but every zip code of Chicago starts with 606.
Yeah.
I lived in Wicker Park. It was 60622. We had the 606 trail. So
and as soon as you go across this road, 60804.
Yeah, 60804, 60546. You know, it goes on.
Yeah,
but
we don't mess with those. It's like the 312. It's an emblem, and it's one that isn't used. So you're right.
Yep, it's not one that's used, and we wanted to do something unique.
Maybe or dot 606 dot.
Yep, 606 dot. Yeah. So we did release something like that, and it was really dope. You know, we encapsulated different components of Chicago, as you could tell, the Bleeding Heart. We also did like a really cool snowflake, and you know, the list goes on and on. Our Instagram shows a lot of those type of designs that we did, and we still try to stick, you know, true to that 606.
And what's it cost to tattoo or to get permission to tattoo this?
Man, whatever you want. We don't charge people for tattooing our designs.
Okay.
I know a lot of brands do. I think one of the things when we first started, our We Love House Music logo has been tattooed already on 7 people. Our Heart Star, the one that is our logo right up here, that's been tattooed I think about 4 or 5 times now. The wolf is on a couple of pieces that my friends have. You know, it's like we appreciate it. You know,
the heart's definitely.
Someone has it on their forearm for the heart. Yeah.
Well, the heart should belong on the heart, maybe.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull it off. I'm a little bit of a wolf, so maybe on the arm.
Yeah.
Got a DNA strand to make. myself. So let's
Ooh, a DNA strand would be a really dope design.
well, with the colors.
With the colors.
Man,
yeah.
if you can illustrate that, let me know because we can. That's
Dude, and then you can put the
idea.
Chicago stars throughout the DNA, like right in between them.
Yeah,
like it's
in between the helix connectors.
Yeah, dude, that shit would be dope. All right, Erica, get on it. Next thing's next,
man.
you know. So it's, just coming up with new designs, new concepts, new ideas, So we'll see what happens little by little.
You could even have the part of the Sears Tower with the antenna sideways on it as a fucking helix connector.
Yeah, you could do all sorts of things now. Now that we're talking.
No, but I that was my next idea for my next arm. I wanted to get a DNA strand. This is more of a, the Mesoamerican culture, my date of birth, movement of Quinto Sol, which is the whole calendar.
Yeah.
People don't realize that's just a sunstone. It just tells a story, but that era is over. And you know what I mean? Just this is going to be more personal, family, and that was definitely double helix. So
yeah.
I would love to see design for that.
Dude, a Chicago
especially in Chicago,
yeah.
Red and blue.
Yeah.
Baby blue, that
Chicago double helix would be actually very, very cool. Maybe, you know what? Stay tuned for Spring Awakening. I think we may have just came up with our design that we're going to drop at Spring Awakening. I think it could encapsulate Chicago very well, and it allows us to use different components of the city to kind of put that helix together. I think we could make something like that work. So we'll
I'm glad these ideas spark up. Anytime they do, it's a blessing, and I really, that's why I love connecting with people. Is when you get ideas out there, and you see them come to light. It's a big joy. You don't know,
of course.
People use abracadabra loosely, but I create what I speak, and you know what I mean. That's all people at the end of the day want to do is put what's in here out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In whatever way you can see it, it brings joy because that's recognition. And I think on a deeper level, that's, spiritually what we look for is recognition of self. We want to see that reflection, but a good reflection. So
that's the goal.
And it's all up to you how you would take it. So no, but I'd love to see something like that. That would be dope. I love all these designs I've seen as far as your Chicago based. I'm not lying. How do you guys get out there? What do you do to,
So one of our main things.
You say you got Spring Awakening. You got a contract with them, or?
So we're big music. We're big vendors. That's mainly our source of income. That's our bread and butters. We are vendors. You could catch us vending at all sorts of music festivals coming up this summer, but majority of the time on the off season is music venues. Tonight we're vending at Estate down in right off of Elston. Then we're also vending at different nightclubs, different music venues. Working with different artists who are coming through Chicago and reach out to us and say, hey, can you promote? Can you come vend? Can you make a piece of merchandise for us? So that's our bread and butter. But our really, really big thing, what we're working on is hitting as many festivals as we can during the summer. That is our thing. So Spring Awakening is a big one because of EDM. A lot of people go to it.
Chicago house music.
Chicago house, tweak, extra popular type now,
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's hipster house.
It is hipster house.
Yes, I could. Sorry, I'm so sorry about this, guys. I could coin that shit. EDM is hipster house.
Oh man, but EDM encapsulates so much more than just house.
I know it does, but you know what I think.
House is the backbone of it all. That's what I think.
But I think hipster encapsulates the era.
Yeah, I mean, go to Europe. It's gonna be a little different.
Well, no, I mean the era here. That's what I think. That's what I'm trying to say here, even in Chicago, because
hipster house.
Yeah, well, EDM is catching on in the hip hop scene everywhere right now. It's actually becoming mainstream in other other genres. You know what I mean?
It is. It's taking over at the moment, and it's growing rapidly.
It's energy. It's pure energy pumped out. And a lot of this pop music is not as much energy as it used to be.
Yeah. We miss it.
Yeah. I understand people put on great shows, and I think that's the issue now, is they care more about the show that they're putting on for the fans than the music that they're leaving behind at the end of the day. And I think that's a big issue, Drake, with people and you know what I mean, just trends. You know what I mean? I don't really like a lot of the trends going on here, and it's not to hate on people because you got a lot of people that are doing really great things out there. One of my personal favorites, and he's been for a while, is Kodak Black. This is before everybody jumped on the wagon. I feel like he still to this day, I'll say he's one of the only genuine hood original people that's not following anybody else's, line as far as creativity. Even though he's been accused of it, just character-wise. But I don't like how a lot of it's not left on the actual record. It's more of a hype. You can't you can't have it both ways. We're connected like we are never before. So obviously it's a popularity. It's a popularity test that everything. I could never have the stamina to show face and keep face. I think in his shoes. So that's the only thing I will say as far as respect. But I don't like that he's sucked a lot of the life out of what a lot of other people's careers could have been if he just didn't steal the spotlight. He gets all these acclimates, top selling above Beatles. But I tell everybody the Beatles didn't feature anybody on the tracks. Yeah, it was 4 or 5 of them.
That's true.
They didn't feature anybody. 95% of Drake's top hits have a feature. Or he is the feature, but he took the song because he's Drake.
Very interesting concept.
And it's an interesting concept, but I feel like it shouldn't be that way.
Maybe it just shows how powerful collaborations are.
Yeah, and that's again, and I that's a great point, and I think that's what the undertone that I was giving is that this is that era where everybody's connected. So people want to hear these collabs because they like this style. They want to see how it goes together with this style. At the primitive, that's what it is. This sound with this sound.
Yep.
But on a bigger note, I mean, we need new waves, just new waves from new faces and original people. And Chicago is one of those breeding zones where talent is everywhere. Talent is everywhere. Yeah. But we're doing the crab game. So somebody's rising up, grabbing them. And everybody thinks it's a contest now. I see a lot of artists that put their all into it and they feel like they deserve it a little more. Certain people, that's what their themes are. I don't think that's a good theme. I think you need to just put out spurts and feelings of your life and let people connect to that. And that's the beauty of hip hop. It was like the break dancers. Every one of them had their own move. You know what I mean? And that was their signature. And that was the beauty of it. You didn't need to see one person do every move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had a crew, you had variety, and that was one of the outlets was that everybody could fit into one of these aspects. So shout out to everybody who's working really hard and music sounds great and they don't get the recognition that they should. But I think it's work together, but like I don't mean work together like shout each other out. I mean like work like you really care about the person. You know what I mean? And I think that everybody, will get elevated. There's too much talent, you know what I mean, for us not to just be like, oh, and this guy, check him out. You know what I mean? Like, but it can't just be your crew. It can't just be Chicago got to show love for Chicago because it's something that we don't do just for the hell of it. It's got to be somebody connected to us. They can't steal our shine. I mean,
to be honest, anytime we travel out of the state and there's Chicago people at that music festival and they come through our Chicago vendor booth, dude, the amount of love that they come, that they bring, that they, that energy that Chicago love, like, man, it's untouchable, dude. When Chicago meets Chicago outside of Chicago, dude, it's phenomenal.
Oh, we rap the hardest.
Like, oh, dude,
people everywhere testify. Dude. You don't get people in New York with New York tattoos.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like, people out here are wearing that flag as a tattoo. Damn near mandatory. If you got 5 tattoos in Chicago, one of them is related to that flag or that Sears Tower or that something in this damn city.
Everybody.
And you know what I mean?
That pride is phenomenal.
But what are we proud of, man? Come on now, for real. What are we? We need to be proud that we all made it or that we're getting light shine for the right reasons. We can't be the negative Chicago and still the positive Chicago. We got to be the together Chicago because we're a beast. Man,
Dude,
we're a
Chicago's
beast.
gorgeous.
We
It's
stopped
beautiful.
Trump from talking at UIC. I know that, and that's before he got elected. You don't realize that
Oh my
power.
God.
A city this big
That's
can
history.
get together that quick and just wreck
Nope.
shit and say, no, you can't. That's how
Only-
quick we could do it. But it don't take a president. That's what I'm saying is that we can do that. Man,
Yeah.
I always emphasize I work for an immigration lawyer. There was marches where like millions of people started marching for something that they didn't even know what it was about. Imagine if we had purpose. I'm saying Chicago's a beast. It is a monster. The government is afraid of Chicago. Don't get it twisted. Oh, sorry, everybody.
It's okay. It's okay.
We got a passion for this for this city. And it sounds like negative, but it's not. I'm dying to see everybody really make it because I know who people out there with talent is, and they know that if anything else, you know what I mean. I know my music, and I'm not going to shout people out right now because it's unfair, it's unjust. There's too many people in Chicago who are really doing like great music.
Yeah.
Fuck everything because I don't follow anything else but great music.
I wouldn't even say it's just music. I would say it's any type of forms of art, any forms of, anything of self-expression, artists that are coming out, actors that are coming out, musicians, singers, poets, like everybody that comes out of Chicago has a very, very amazing, like unique aspect to them. And I think that's phenomenal. That's something like you could tell when someone from Chicago has that specific little spark in them, the little pep in their step, and I love that, definitely.
And sorry if I seem bipolar. This coffee is really this third cup. God dang.
Yeah,
No, yeah, but definitely, I like the representation of emblems for Chicago. I mean, what else do you guys do besides the vending scene? How do you guys collab on stuff? What's the initial?
So we have a couple of different ways that we go about. Depending on what we do, we throw events as well. If you guys are familiar with an awesome bar, it's called Exit. It's the oldest punk bar in Chicago.
Yeah.
Everybody.
You heard of Exit, even though
if you're in Chicago, you should know Exit. That is the spot. Any time of the week, like any day of the year. So we've thrown a lot of events called Evolution of Sound. Skag Entertainment, shout out to them for even putting us out, putting us on. And, we try to get different artists, get different DJs. We try to make it as unique as possible. And that's what we've been doing, a lot of collabs in that sort. When it comes to art collabs is not easy. I'm not going to lie. That shit, because when you're trying to bring in so many artists together, trying to do the production on pieces, it is not easy to put that stuff from start to finish and have everyone happy, make sure the end product is good. But I am not going to lie. We have done some collabs with some awesome tattoo artists. We're always looking for new artists. We're always looking for people to collaborate with. Like that's what we are. We're an artist collective. We work with photographers, videographers, DJs, vocalists. We work with illustrators, marketing masters, like anything you could even think of, we could put you to work, So if anyone hears this and wants to get involved, please reach out. We always appreciate it. We always want people to collaborate with us. And I think there's a power behind collaborations, like I said earlier too,
Of course.
So
just being in the same presence as somebody with that creativity and just letting it out. You'd be surprised at stuff that never comes out until you are around something different or someone different.
Yeah. It always helps.
What is for this brand, this this company? What is the goal? What is if I think that a lot of people that are successful, a lot of times they set a goal that's really fucking hard to reach.
Ooh, I got one of those.
And that's what it struck me. That's what this kind of thing struck me. Like the reason that it's going so well and that it's attracting things is because you're looking at something that you want. And it's really fucking hard to get. And those are the people that work hard.
Yes. So this month, we actually launched a second branch called Evol, Colorado. This is literally the first week that it's like finally live, that it's going. We have our first line of merchandise already in pre-sales. Like, you could go on evolcolorado.com and you could order stuff. And we actually just got our first booking for a series of vending events in Colorado the last week of March.
Are they 420 friendly?
They are. Most of them are, yes. We have not announced this to anybody, so this is the first time we're saying this to anyone.
Are you doing anything 420 related
420,
for those things?
We will be 420. It's a little bit away. It'll be in about a month and a half. We'll get something going. But let me touch base on like the goal that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. That's what
the goal of behind all of this is Evol worldwide. Okay. I want to see the brand
Hoes and
Evol
hoes.
having a shop or having vending crews or having a statement in cities all over the world. Right now we did Chicago. We're in Colorado. Next,
now, do you
New
want
York.
exclusivities? You want Supreme level?
What do you mean exclusivities? In what?
You know what I mean?
sense?
It's Supreme is a very.
I mean, Supreme is Supreme.
Do you want the
These motherfuckers have been doing it for a while.
or you want it to be a brand everybody can get?
Yeah,
accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like when art is accessible, man. The thing I appreciate
that's one of the points. Yeah.
Is if somebody if they love a piece so much, but they can't get their hands on it because you're keeping it exclusive, a part of me doesn't appreciate that much, because like, it's an amazing piece of art. You want to share it with as many people that appreciate it as you can.
That's the difference between actual artists taking control of something like this, a company like this, compared to just being backed by money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The hustle's better. You know what I mean? The creators, the natural
flow of
things it is much better.
Yeah.
And you got to ask these questions, because these are, this is art. This is intricate. This is, it looks exclusive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it doesn't look easy to make either.
No.
So,
I mean, this thing is this is a limited edition out of 100 pieces, So once this version sells out, we won't be releasing this exact version, but we will be making other variants. That is one thing that we do, because it comes down to a collector's item as well. The thing is the overall design, we do like to keep things moving. Like, we're about to release a hat with this. We're going to release another shirt with this. We already released one. It's sold out. We're using it on different items. We want people to have access to it besides just a pin,
And then you got to copyright these things, right?
So this is more of our kind of, right away, it's copyrighted to us because it's already made by us. You could kind of see that it's our original art.
Yeah.
If somebody's stealing this art in this industry, they're gonna get called out for it.
Yeah.
Like, it's inevitable.
No, I don't mean by calling out, but I really do like when I see this in Chicago Woods.
Yeah.
Like
legit,
like
our We Love House
upgrade.
Music is trademarked. Our Heart Star is trademarked.
Yeah.
So we have trademarks and whatnot, but
is this one trademarked?
No, we don't trademark our actual designs. We trademark our logos.
Yeah.
Our designs are not trademarked, because if somebody really wanted to steal a design, it's kind of hard to get it to the exact precision of this pin, this detail. Like, you got to really sit there and focus on it.
So you got the plug.
Yeah, like, the thing is like, these artists are amazing that are putting this stuff out,
Yeah.
And like, for somebody to just go and steal that piece of art, like, yeah, they can, but people know where the original piece came from,
Exactly, and it's about the artist, not the replica.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the artist, man. That's what we try to promote.
This type of art. Like, I really mess. I've been fucking with your pins for a minute since E-Fest, and
yeah, dude, that was a while ago too.
Yeah, that was a minute ago.
Like when we first started.
But I mean, for me especially, with everything I got going on, for somebody to be like, "Oh yeah, it's Misha from Evol." As soon as I heard it, I'm like, "Okay, yes, I remember." Because I took back a piece with myself. So
I mean, to be clear, like, I'm not the artist. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but you were the point of contact.
I'm the point of contact, and I'm the production manager. So I'm the one that works with the artist and says, "Hey, do this here, do this here. Let's put this in. I'll talk to the manufacturer. Let's get this shit made. Let's make it look nice, and then let's sell it. Let's get it into people's hands." So these artists that we work with, like I said, this one is Erica Lissette. Erica Lissette, she's fucking dope. And then this one is a J Dubs with Erica Lissette collab. So multiple people, and then I do the production on all of these, so I get to add different different spectrum to it. You know, I get to add the glitters, I get to add the glow in the darks, the cutouts. I get
The
to
flair.
decide what goes on the back. I decide, you know, how big this thing is. You know, shit like that.
You're
So-
young Ric Flair right here. Woo! You put that shit in.
Boom, little, you know, seasoning. You know, so, but over time, you know, like we just moved out to Colorado, man. The response has been phenomenal. Like, I am not.
Now
gonna
you're
lie,
working
dude.
on Colorado theme.
Oh,
What's
everything
the
is
colors over
Colorado.
there?
Dude? So it's a C with the C is it's a blue and yellow with some red. So the colors are really dope. But we made a C in the heart. We made a C with a heart, and it's dripping. So it looks like it's a melting heart C, and that's our logo out there. And we just released called a Mountain Girl, and it's literally a landscape of a mountains with trees inside of a silhouette of a girl. It's fucking dope. Like,
So I'm
and-
guessing the breasts and the pines. And
yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, she's got mountains coming up the neck and stuff. Like, it's pretty dope. So everything is going to be themed according to the city that we do.
Okay.
It abides to that, you know, area, that network, you know, and those people, and then yeah. Something like that.
I think if you stick to that emblematic part of what this is, you'll be successful. And that's funny because I mentioned 420 right away.
Yeah.
You don't really want to lean towards that, especially when it comes to the city. You gotta see what people are really proud of in the city.
Yeah.
And it makes a really big difference. It really does. So yeah, man, what's going on? We usually like to talk about current events and stuff that's going on.
Okay.
What's something that caught your eye recently?
Shit. Man, I don't even, dude, current events? Well, I don't know if anyone watches soccer, but the shit that's been going down in the Champions League right now is ridiculous. I don't know if anybody, Real Madrid got knocked out by Ajax, got lost 4-1 at home and got knocked out.
Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, Real Madrid is the Vatican of soccer.
They're the last 3 years, they were the champions.
Never-ending
all over.
income.
Yeah,
Like,
those guys are.
They'll buy the Pope.
Yeah,
No, I'm just playing. You can't kick him like this shit.
And then today, Manchester United beat Paris Saint-Germain, which is like another mecca of soccer right now. And they won 3-1, and nobody thought that would happen, and that it's been buzzing all over the world right now because that's Champions League. That is the champions of Europe playing against one another. That's something that's taken my breath today and yesterday, and yeah, that's kind of what I've been paying attention to be honest. How about you?
Shout out to the Kardashians, the new mafia.
Oh shit.
Yo, they got that loyalty shit down pat. They just ruined the old lady's life. Her whole entire life over her messing with a dude that was messing with everybody else. That was beautiful. See, people can relate to this because it happens close to them all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bigger scheme of it. I don't believe in any of this stuff that's going on with people like that. I think everything's fabricated, and man, they're doing such a beautiful theatric job.
Yeah.
They ruined this entire person's life. What else is going on?
It's unfortunate, but
President,
yeah, and
they're
gonna
gonna catch him, or they're not gonna catch him.
I don't fucking know. They're just kind of wasting time right about now. I don't, what's gonna happen in 2020? We shall see, man. The fuck?
Will we make it to 2020? Watch CNN and find out. This is fucked up. This is Justice League with no superheroes. Fuck.
No, we're on to the next thing. Fuck it.
Definitely
we'll see what happens. What else is kind of happening around? Man, summer's coming.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
this
is.
Chicago.
We are 2 weeks away from spring.
April will have 20-degree weather. April will have snow.
Hey, next week is supposed to be 40.
I get it, but April will have snow at least once. It's tradition now.
Yeah.
We don't have a straight winter. We used to have all freezing cold. Kids used to still go to school. Now we have ice in April from January.
Yeah. It is what it is, That's what's really interesting about that. But once the summer comes, man, we are so excited. Chicago summers, I feel like there's nothing else like that.
How often do you guys come out with new lines like this? You said this is a part of a piece set, right?
Yeah, so this is part of a 3-piece set. Erica Lissette did a Chicago Brain, and then she did a Breath of Fresh Air, which was a pair of lungs.
I
And
actually got it on the coat.
yeah, this is actually an unreleased piece that we're going to be releasing in a couple of weeks. You know, it's got that, and then on the
Do a little
back.
quick turn around on the coat. So if you can't see that here, I got you.
Yeah. So that's one of the lungs pieces. It's really cool. It's got Mother Nature coming out of the lungs, out of a lotus flower. If you see all the lines on the side, that's actually the railroad tracks of Illinois. And one of the things that we wanted to relate for the lungs is like the delivery of oxygen throughout the body. But the Chicago railroad system is distribution hub of America, and that's how we wanted to connect that. And so that we add
That's
those
sick
little things.
because the Windy City,
Yes,
which carries everything. Yeah, that's a breath of fresh air, like you said.
breath of fresh air. You know, it helps distribute everything. How frequent do we release stuff? Depends the time of year. You know, during the summer, dude, every week, man, we are popping out new stuff for festivals, like dropping.
How long does it take to produce it though?
To produce it takes about 3 to 4 weeks. 3 to 4 weeks once the design is done. To get the design, man, Erica just made something really, really dope. J-Dubs just made some really dope art. Sometimes it takes months, man. Sometimes it takes over a year, you know. Some of our clothing, man, the hockey jersey we released took us 18 months to create it, you know, from design to production to sales, like almost 2 years, you know, and that's crazy to think about it, but it was a hit, you know.
Definitely.
So just depends, you know, depends on how much time goes into a product, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm curious because nothing about this looks easy.
No.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's interesting.
The manufacturers
I figure
do a
it
good
takes a
job.
lot of people
Yeah.
to just get something this small out. This you know.
Yeah, I mean, something like that retails for $30.
This is number 29 of 100, so he's not lying. This is limited piece.
Yeah.
Very, very limited. So
it's a beautiful piece. When it glows in the dark, it's sexy. It is so sexy.
So
yeah.
That's your goal in winter. You come in with your coats, your hats. This will look great on a coat.
Yeah, it would. On a denim jean jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, we put the locking backs on there so you won't have to worry about losing it either. It'll lock right on there. Fucking, it'll look fire. You know, it's kind of the whole point behind it.
How do people follow you?
People can follow us multiple ways. We got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You could also, if you go onto our website, evolchicago.com, you could opt into our email blast. We send out a couple of emails a month, you know, releasing new blog posts, releasing new merchandise, giving you updates. We also just released a new SoundCloud. In that SoundCloud, we feature 2 playlists a month that are all new deep house tracks from all over the world.
Okay.
It's a way to connect our brand to music, to stay like a little bit more true to what we represent.
Well, that's your roots. That's what you started off on.
So yeah,
we love house music.
Yes, sir. You know, and it took us a while to get there, but little by little, step by step, you know, you got to keep growing, you got to keep working, and you know, never give up. That's what I've learned. Never
hip hop collaborations.
Let's do it.
That?
You know, like we've worked with Evol. You know, that's one of the
shout out to Evol.
Shout out to
everybody out there.
You know
AR Radcliffe.
Yep.
Rhymester.
Yep.
Call them out, all of them.
You know,
that's the impact, like my little logo.
That's a dope logo. I like it.
Yeah,
so you're an illustrator.
Well, I used to just, you know, graffiti. I was a little graffiti head, so.
Yeah, dude, I want to release
Vandalize.
Really dope. We want to release really dope house music piece that's all graffiti. Like, I really want that because I feel like it would just speak to so many people out of this city.
Well, if you ever need those connections, I still got the people that are behind it. If you ever need to do something that has to do with, you know, just showing it as an art form.
Yeah,
I got a lot of friends who are still some of the rawest b-boys out there. Shout out to Voice, one of my buddies, personal buddies. Still had a Matrix moment to this day that I can't explain. Did this one move in between one of his little sets where he jumped in the air, was completely upside down, stuck somehow in the air, and landed on the beauty of it is somehow he managed to, for half a second, stay still upside down. without touching the fucking floor. To this day, the most amazing fucking move I've ever seen. Anyway, that's the point is you know, with art, I appreciate, you know, the fact that it's individualized, but yet if it's collaborated, it's so intricate. You know what I mean? But it's got to kind of it's got to mesh with something like it. You know what I mean? That's one of those things about the art, and that's one of the things about like what hip hop was when it started. You know, as guys from the neighborhood. You know, every neighborhood had their style, even though every b-boy, every MC had their own. You know what I mean? But you knew you belonged to that family.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's, you know, one of those things that I can visualize with your brand, how you're branching off. It has a lot to do with information and actual stuff that's going on with that section of what you're touching.
Yeah.
So if you could keep it true, definitely it could be all types of hip hop esque theme to it, like flow to it, and
using influences around you.
And hip hop is really love. If anybody has a doubt about it, what hip hop was love. It was everybody organizing, and you show love by brushing up, by being a part of something, by doing your part. You know what I mean? By not stepping outside of your part because your people got you. That's cool. You know what I mean? Everybody knows your place. And shout out to everybody that can do a bunch of things, but to those who do something really special, really well, try to stick to that because, you know what I mean? We don't have a lot of that real special.
And share that with others. You know?
Don't spread yourself too thin. Believe it or not, you can do that no matter how talented you are. If you have something that you're really great at, do that. You produce this stuff, right? You don't want to do what the artists do because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
You respect that. And
I don't try to step on their toes.
Music should be the same way. If you're an MC, there ain't nothing wrong with just being a goddamn MC. You know how much drama or things I get thrown at me because I'm just the MC and people look, well, look, I'm a great MC. Bars on point. But that's what I do. If I could collab with a producer, first of all, I gotta love your shit, and you know I'm honest about it. But at the end of the day, I don't step out of that. I don't want to. It's too late to try for me to want to do that. I just brush up on what that feeling of the music is, and I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of great music. So you do your part. I'll hear your part. I'm that type of person that who produced that, who came up with that damn drum. You know what I mean? Like,
where's that coming from?
Yeah, exactly. I want to know.
Always,
But shout out to everybody out there. Tertiary.
Amen.
You got to report back to Chicago. We got an EP to put out. It's too many damn. I'll let you get a sneak peek into that in a bit.
Good shit.
So I know you got to wrap it up in a little bit. Usually we have music pieces. Today we wanted to keep it about Evol. Real quick, we were talking about this behind the scenes, and we just want to give a shout out. Evol and Afro, rest in peace. Two of the most infamous taggers, bombers in the South Side. You could see their work, their names blown up for who knows how many years now on Pulaski. You know those towers right off the 55. Tragic death. You know, this started around the time that the cops really started getting heat about all the bullshit that they were doing. And for people that don't know, two young, gifted artists, respected bombers in the street, got love from everybody. This dude rocked the name Evol.
Yeah.
They got their lives taken by a very irresponsible off-duty police officer. Horrific accident. It's not an accident, horrific scene, but you know what I mean? Like that was my first thought when I thought of your brand, like the actual brand itself. And it brings a certain pride because Evol, that name that I'm talking about, is Chicago. It is a very Chicago thing. And I would never believe that that's where you get any concept of that. Love backwards, there's Evil Olive. There's, you know what I mean? There's a lot of plays on that. But I find like there's a certain pride in that. In
Revolution, it's got Evol in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and of course, but I think it's just to highlight the importance, like something like it's a reference for me. You know what I mean? And I think of how everything in my life ties up somehow.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when I thought of that, I really thought art and bombing. I mean, I used to run
So
around
it
with
is.
guys who you're talking to, and half a second later they're putting their name in 6 feet of a quick tag, and
Yeah.
that's their name, and boom, they're walking along. And this in the middle of Cermak, in the middle of Kedzie, in the middle of everywhere on the south side. The tracks are hit hard. So shout out to that art, and
Yeah.
that's something
Shout out to
that
that
you're
art.
really showing a really nice side of Chicago through that art, and it's complex, but it's emblematic. Everything is emblematic. I feel like that you're putting out this heart sick piece. Can't get over it. It's really nice, and yeah, we hope to see what you're going to come up with this summer, because you guys got to stay tuned. Again, he told you how to follow him. If you want to just follow up with that and just give him a little more info. And let's show off a couple of these pieces before we go, because you have. And now. All right. That's a depiction of the Benny the Bull.
With the Black Hawk skin.
Yeah, with the earrings. But this is the Benny. You see that gangster little face in him? That's the one that got caught selling crack in you didn't hear about that? The projects. What was it? The oldest projects. What are the oldest projects right now? I'm ashamed. But if you ain't know the story behind Benny the Bull getting busted for selling crack, look it up. Look it up. Don't trust me. Google that shit. Selling crack. Crack. And this is what this is. Look at this. Smooth.
Oh,
and again, this is on a metal pin.
Yeah.
So it's not something easy to put up.
Yeah.
So what else we got here?
Got a really dope Cubs pin too. This is when they won the World Series.
Cabrini Green. Okay, he was in Cabrini Green. Look it up.
Right.
I'm not joking. This is a real story. We got the Cubs.
Yeah. Even though we ain't got the Sox right here. I know that's the problem right now.
I'm gonna show it real quick.
We're trying to release a Sox pin coming up here.
Respect for the company.
You know.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know,
Hey,
this is a big fan base.
That's what it is.
You know what? I'll say Chicago love real quick, but we're in Bridgeport. This is our backyard is the Sox.
Yeah,
stadium.
I saw that too.
So
Sox pin coming soon.
I'll just say this: that it is all Chicago love all the time, except when it comes to the Sox and Cubs. It is not. I know this because I'm not a hater like that, but it's not that I hated on the Cubs. It's just that when they won, I thought I was gonna be happy. I was gonna jump up, be like, yeah. When they won, I was like, I walked away. I just walked away. And that just means I'm a Southsider. That's what it means to me. I feel like everybody should root for their side, and their team is a reflection of where they're from. Shout out to Cub fans that are from the North Side. You're repping your side. That's beautiful. Southside Cub fans, you're not like those people anyway, so stop.
Okay, we'll move on to the next one.
We love house music. So if you see that, that's the we, that's the heart, love, house, a home, music. I remember seeing this early on back when I got my first.
Yeah. That's our very first ever pin. That was the one that we did.
Yeah, so
that's our number one selling pin.
Not making this shit up.
Yeah, that's the one that's been.
This should have been the picture right here for the.
Should have been, yeah.
This could have been the picture right here. This would have been sick.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress. Shout out to everybody that's been keeping up with Warden's Midwest through these times. We're just trying to keep it consistent as we can. This thing has been an ongoing thing. It's not been an easy thing to keep up. And shout out to Terry Tertiary, our head warden.
Amen.
And, working a lot of music, going through a lot of life, and he's getting a lot of music out of it. I tell people, man, when you're at your worst, get a pen. However you write music, just do it. Because you're already mad, so you know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get it
What's
out.
our next piece?
This is gonna be our last and final one. This is the classic. This is the Evol Star.
Evol Star. When I look at this, I feel like you can make
Earrings out of it?
Not the earrings, the
gauges.
A gauge with the star popping out.
Oh yeah.
So a gauge
elevated.
and then a star kind of not elevated, just popped out.
Oh,
so the gauge.
On top of it,
so
right?
the heart almost just a circle around the heart like this, and then it just pops out.
That'd be dope.
That'd be a sick gauge.
That would be.
Anyways, that's just some random, but that is the emblem. He's got it on the coat.
Yeah.
I
mean, I think it encapsulates Chicago love,
This is what we're hoping for, everybody. And put it right under that south side.
That's the mission. Here, you could have one of those.
Oh, that's love, man. We're
There
gonna
you go.
rock this, carry this on. This might just get added somewhere up here and just be a permanent part of the little
That would
little
be
backdrop.
dope,
I appreciate
little by little.
appreciate the love.
Dude, thank you.
Evol.
You guys have been amazing to us. We appreciate all the amazing support that we've gotten over the years. Especially with the E-Fest. That was like one of the first Chicago festivals that I got put on. Terry Tertiary really reached out and showed interest in us. And, we did the 2-day event and we killed it. It was phenomenal. It was a chance to see real Chicago hip hop. We got some really awesome Chicago house DJs that came out. Everybody was united. It was dope.
And if you guys don't know, that's why we are the Wardens. The whole point is getting everybody connected. You know what I mean? We want everybody to, through us, we're not gonna lie, that's the point. You know what I mean? Get connected. Nothing else. We don't want shit else. Just get connected. And remember, you know what I'm saying? It was all through love, through, you know what I mean? What we've been doing. You know what I'm saying? This is for recognition. We do our thing on the side. This is for Chicago recognition. If we want to put anybody on in Chicago that we feel is raw, that's great. And that's what we are. We're Wardens. We're connoisseurs. So
and we're blessed to have you guys.
You're our first, you know what I mean, company that makes, these designs that we have on here.
Yeah.
And one of the rawest I've seen, point
Thank
blank.
you.
You know what I mean, as far as what you're doing here. So much love on this.
Appreciate that.
Again, this is Impact. Turn up and turn around.
Amen.
Evol, Misha, man.
Thank you guys. Much love to you.
2 Chainz.
Hey, my name is Misha. Nice to meet you. Thanks, y'all.
Good shit, man. A little longer than what you wanted, but
dude, I don't give a fuck. Shit, that was fun. I've never got a chance to do something like that.
No, that's great. I'm telling you, it's great energy. Like when this guy's here, one of the things I'm more of a like right now I have to be.
And yes.
One of the things about this shit